Please note, any knowledge, can I go ahead now? Any knowledge is gained by something called means of knowledge. Well, this is sweet. How do you know? How do you know? Well, I tasted. How? By ears. No. I taste by ear. You taste by ear. No. I tasted through my tongue only. Because tongue is the means for knowledge, for the taste. I saw. What I saw? He is coming. Who told you? I saw. I personally, my eyes saw. Okay. I'm simplifying as much as possible. That means of knowledge is called pramanam. And a specific means of knowledge is there. You don't have two means of knowledge. But like I saw he is coming and I heard also he is coming. No, seeing is more stronger praman. Supposing you say I heard, it's not yet confirmed. Yet confirm is not there. Ramkrishna Paramahansa used to give example. And the elephant was there. 4 blind people were there. So one touched. Remember? He said, what is it? Bole, wall. He touched the outer body. Somebody touched the rope. His tail. He said, what is it? Bole, rope. Rope is there. Somebody went near his ears. I don't know how he climbed. So he touched it. Bole, what is it? Bole, it is a fan. Fanning. Fanning is there. I think. So the right means of knowledge of what is it was eyes and not the touch. And therefore element of doubt will always be there. The means of knowledge through which what is the real I is called pramana. And the knowledge which is born is called prama. And about the knowledge, object which is known is called prameya. Technical words you have to know little. Praman, prameya, prama, and one who knows is called pramata. Pramata. Gyan Yoga is now coming, so the topic will be little subtler. You have to be little careful. Well, I am very careful. They say there are 5 instruments of knowledge at our disposal. They are called Paurusheya Pramana. What are the first? First is called Pratyaksh Pramana. Perceptional knowledge through the senses. I'm just giving a very brief outline. Perceptional Pramana. Okay. Bole, tea is cold. How do you know? I touched it. Sometimes, so perceptional Pramana is there. Second is called Anuman Pramana, inferential means of knowledge. Anuman Pramana. Anuman. Well, you didn't sleep last night. How do you know? No, I can see your eyes. Eyes, all circles are there all around the eyes. Acha? And in the class again and again you are closing your eyes, although it's not meditation going on. So, I feel you haven't slept properly. Everybody has sleep diet also. He has to complete his whole sleep. Otherwise, sleep is a terrible thing. It comes at a wrong time. If you don't give it a right time, it comes at a wrong time. So, bole, how do you know? Bole, Anuman Praman is there. Anuman. Acha. So, supposing you give water to somebody and he drinks the whole glass. So, you ask, can I give one more glass? I think he is very thirsty. ऐसा होता है. That he has not drunk water from some time, 3-4 hours. Or you gave the water and gudup, he drank the whole glass of water also. Just some people drink lot of water also, that is also one problem. So, jug full of water they will drink in the morning. 4 glasses, कितना? 2 liter, 3 liter. अच्छा, दिन भर में. अच्छा, whole jug of water. Anyway, so that is Anuman Praman is there. But if naturopathy you will go, they will say keep on drinking lot of water. You go to there, they will have. There is also one therapy, water therapy is there. अच्छा भाई लो भैया water ले लो, हमसे क्या मतलब. Then another is called Arthapatti Praman or postulate. It is called postulate. बोले सब क्या है यार, postulate. Just hear it. Why? What is the problem? Arthapatti, seeing the effect, you see the cause. Huh? Some beggar is there. He is standing on the signal. I have no money, please. Totally, he's blind. His hand, both hands are not there. He is sitting, and then you feel, you are in your car, you feel what action he must have done. This is called Arthapatti Praman. Fourth is called Upaman Praman or comparison Praman is there. Upaman, comparison. First was perceptional, second is inferential, third is postulate, fourth is comparison. Comparison is there. Acha? Comparison is there, yes. How do you know? There has to be pralay. As I sleep at the microcosmic level, macrocosmic level whole Srishti sleeps, and therefore that is a pralay. How do you know? What? That by shouting other person must be hurt, because when others shout on me I feel very hurt. Therefore from that I understand that other also must be hurt. He also has a heart. Okay. Therefore from Upaman Pramana I knew that. Okay. All Vyavhar is based on Upaman Praman. You have to find out what you don't like, don't do it to others also. Well, when he came in my house, we should offer him water at least. How do you know? Because when I go, I also feel like he should give me something. Better if you can give some tea, coffee. So you can start with water and go ahead later on. But he should give me something. Not that I should be sitting dry only. This is Upaman Praman. Vyavhar is based on Upaman Praman. Very much. Please be careful. There's another topic is there. Then fifth Praman is called Anuplabdhi, non-recognition Praman. Non-cognition Praman. Anuplabdhi. I went in the road. Whole road was empty. I felt, is it holiday today? Why? Huh? No. When I go out in the road, I feel roads are very empty, no traffic is there, so fast. Then other person said, "Bhai, today is holiday, school holidays are there, or today is 16th national day is there, root day is there." This is called Anuplabdhi Praman is there. These 5 Praman are reduced to 2 Praman. One is called Pratyaksh Praman, other is called Anuman Praman. सब उसी के बेटे हैं. Perceptional and inferential Praman. All sciences are based on inferential Praman only. All sciences, Pratyaksha and inferential. So, which Praman to use for the knowledge of the self? Now the problem is, which Praman, are you getting my point? Which means of knowledge should we use for the knowledge of the self? बताओ भाई. प्रत्यक्ष, अनुमान, अर्थापत्ति, अनुपलब्धि, उपमान. Now the problem is started. What is the problem started? Problem is these all Praman are only for something other than I. And our problem is about I. Now you have to get tuned to all these words also. Because here slowly you will have Vedant class. Only Vedant class. Every month you will come like that. You have to get tuned to all these words. Okay, I'm trying to getting tuned. So, again say once more, all 5 Praman are for some objective knowledge and our problem is subjective. But I feel my problem is objective. Then you are not a seeker. Khatam ho gayi baat. Go and sort this object out. When you are convinced that my problem is not objective problem can be solved by the objects. If you are feeling cold, put on the aircon. If you are feeling hot, put on the heater if you are feeling cold. If you are feeling hungry, eat something. If you are feeling tired, rest. But if you are feeling depressed, putting on the aircon won't help. Only eat chocolate. बेवकूफ. चॉकलेट खाने से डिप्रेशन जाएगा. Black dark chocolate eat, you will feel kick. Others can give you. Why to have chocolate for that? When I feel, because problems, objective problems are easily solvable. And none of has the problem of eating and drinking and fan and cooler, etc. Well, I am suffering because in my house fan is not there. Therefore, I am badly depressed. Nobody is depressed because of that. Our problems are about the subject I. I already started my discourses like that only. Subject I is there. Because my I becomes very small in a certain situation. Maybe another person in the same situation, his I will not become small. It is written in Bhagavad, Duryodhana etc. insulted Vidurji. Vidurji, he said, you know what words they use? Well, you are siding with the Pandavas. Although we give you the food, and you are like the dog. Aisa word used kiya. And Vidurji, you read there, he had no disturbances. Subjective problems cannot have objective answers. Hello. Body level problem has body level answers. Well, I am hungry. Well, go and study Vedanta. Hear satsang. By hearing satsang, hunger won't go. Well, I will hear lot of satsang, hunger will go away. No. Hunger for knowledge may be there, but hunger won't go by hearing satsang. Well, chant Lord's name, your thirst will go away. Chanting Lord's name, thirst won't go away. I tried all these things. Well, have apple juice. For what? If you are feeling angry, have apple juice. Nothing happens, you get more angry. Why? This apple is not good. Apple juice doesn't remove the anger. Problem is somewhere you are sorting out somewhere. Our problem is extension and contraction of I. Therefore, Vedanta gives a classic definition of sorrow. Experience of contraction of I is called sorrow. This is good for thought of the day. Experience of contraction of I is called sorrow. And joy? Experience of expansion of I is called joy. He is my son, Swamiji. What is his name? W. Here W is not there. In India it's very common name. W. 4 sons were there. What to do? Bullet W, X, Y, Z. So, only his name is W. His X, his Y, his Z. Acha? So what is the problem? Why you are happy is telling he is my son? Because his code is topped. He topped in the university, Swamiji. Why you are so happy? He is my son. Because I see him expanded. If wife is very good, then you feel like going with the wife everywhere. Why? She is my wife. She is my wife. Both will be. बोले साथ ही साथ रहना हमारे. इन्हीं कि तुम कहीं और चली जाना. You don't go anywhere else. Be together. Because people should know also that you are nice. So nice you have put on. You have good looks. और साथ रहना. इन्हीं कहीं. When we will be in the dining table, साथ ही बैठना. Okay. Supposing she is good looking. Because it enhances my personality. I is expanded. Opposite chances are more. She's not that looking good looking. बोले सुनो बहुत साथ मत रहना हर समय. तुम अलग रहना अपना हम अलग रहेंगे. Don't be all the time with me. Don't hang around me only. Okay? बोले why? But I'm your wife. बोले it's okay, but you be there also. Don't go very close all the time. These psychologies work. बोले तेरा दूर अपना तुम अलग खाओ. You eat somewhere else. I'll eat here. But why? Because of our presence, people think that I'm also not good looking. So this experience of contraction of the self is called sorrow. Experience of expansion of the self is called joy. Problem is in eye, mere pyare. And Vedanta says your eye is not the one which is flexible eye. And therefore all five instruments are extrovert instrument capable of gaining external knowledge, and they are failing in the knowledge of eye. None of them can study the subject. This is the limitation of Panch Pramanani. This is the limitation of five Pramanas. I hope you are getting. Subject cannot study the subject. Subject is never subject to objectification. Subject is never subject to objectification. Oh, like, can you give me an example? Eyes can't see eyes. I can see your eyes, you can see my eyes. You can see my eyes, no? See, and I can see your eyes. Little drowsy one. Bhai, some are there sitting here, morning class, you just do like that. I remember Shivaji for pranam, bhai. And some are very tricky. They close their eyes and see them look down. They think that I am thinking that he's seeing in the book and copy. And while he closes his eyes. Because this way at least some fraction of sleep he can get. If not 40 winks, at least few winks. Aankh band karke. And interesting thing, supposing some joke comes, so he hears something. Closing the eyes, the person is spiritual. Like that. Someday you give a talk, you see that. But I also have been a student, so I know all these tricks. What you do, I know every trick here. So eyes can't see eyes. How to see the eyes then? Eye needs a, bolo. To see eye, you need the mirror. To see eyes, you need the mirror. To see this EI, to see this physical eyes, you see a mirror. Mirror is the one through which you can see eye. To see that eye, intrinsic eye, you need another mirror called Aparusha Praman, called Vedas and Shastras. Vedas, they are Aparusha. Aparusha means not human made. Praman is there. This is called sixth Praman. It is called Shabda Praman. This is not human made. It is revealed to the rishis. Oh, that means this Praman won't work. No. Why? Because this will only give you objective knowledge. And I want the knowledge of the eye. Eye, intrinsic eye. Okay. So giving the mirror, a person can see the eyes. Say, if I give mirror, a person can see his eyes. No. It can't see eyes. He has to handle the mirror properly. Mirror, if he sees backside, he can't see the mirror. There has to be proper direction, proper angle should be there. Handling of the mirror. Handling of the mirror is there. So supposing somebody has Vedas, can he know eye? No. He has to handle this Vedas. How to handle the Vedas? Bhagavan has given, like the mirror is there to see your beautiful face, similarly scriptural mirror is to see your complete eye. A scriptural mirror is there to make you see the complete eye. But how to read the scripture, how to handle the scripture? Therefore, you need a competent handler of the scriptures who is showing the mirror in front of you. He is called teacher. Only by myself I cannot know. No. By yourself you cannot know. But if I can read physics, chemistry, history, geography, biology, anthropology, all subject I can read, why not Vedas I can read properly? I'll tell you why you can't read. Because problem is, in every knowledge there are two steps. Supposing I ask you, where is Phoenix? So you will say, I think Phoenix, you go straight. What? N2 you have to take. N2 you take and just keep on going to N2. Somewhere it will be written Phoenix. Towards then pointer is there, right is there. Okay. Then you turn. And then you will enter where you want to go in Phoenix. You will tell, I want to go in this place. Then you enter it, it will be written there. Then you turn left. There is one hole there. Acha, you fall down. And after you and after getting up from that hole, you get up. Get up again, you restart. Again you turn right, and there you will destination has reached. क्यों आप परेशान कर रहे हैं? All the knowledges have two areas. One is called information and other area is called experience. देखो ध्यान देना. Supposing you are a student of biology, so there is some classes going on, or zoology is there. So you say this is frog, or this is the frog is also like this. Frog is a mammal. Amphibian. Acha. So bole acha. Then rabbit is a mammal, I think. So rabbit dissection is done. So bole this is rabbit. So this is the liver. This is this. So he will make one diagram. He said this is liver, this is kidney, this is this. And now you have information understood. Yes. Let us now go for the practical classes, and then we will go. This one wax tray will be there. One dead rabbit will be brought. And they will put a pin all around the feet of that, and then they will put like that. There's a special scissors are there. They scissor, and all the teachers are there, and this is this. So there is a two-step involved. One step is called the information, other is called experience. This is our habit to know. Any knowledge is our habit to know like this. And what is experience? You come in contact with the object which you were knowing. You went to Phoenix. Wow. What you had known here, that I want to go to Mr. Mehra's house. Mr. Mehra is there. Now I could contact him. And therefore this way of knowledge works there. But when you are in Vedanta, this way of knowledge does not work. Why? Because what you are gaining, what you are trying to know, is already there. Please know the small difference is there. And therefore there is nothing called first information and then experience. Information plus experience is not there. This dichotomy of information followed by experience is not the Vedantic knowledge. But we are trained and tuned that this is the way to study. Well, Swamiji, I heard Vedanta, now I will practice it. That means, then what you heard about? Well, about I. Which I? Some I. This is called mishandling slightly the scriptures. When you read the scripture by yourself, you are likely to mishandle the scriptures like this. And therefore you won't get self-knowledge. Self-knowledge will be given by the competent teacher who sees that you do not divide this point. Self-knowledge will be given by an experienced and a competent teacher who will see that you don't commit this mistake. And therefore you need faith What is the faith now? Like the operation theater is there, the what is it called? Patient lies down. Patient lies down and he gives the freedom to the doctor that you can do the procedure. He can't do his own procedure. He can't see his own liver and operate. Similarly, in the Vedantic knowledge, the disciple, this disciple, when it is he lays open his mind and says, my wrong eye is ready for procedure. My wrong eye is ready for the procedure. So the operation of praman, the operation of means of knowledge is done by a teacher, and this operation is called Vedant Vichar. I hope you are clear. By alone I told you what is the risk there. It is a risky thing to do it alone. And even if you do it, you will abhiman that I understood Vedant by myself. The wrong I in another form will be there, and therefore you have to go to the teacher so that you don't have the abhiman that I heard, I understood by myself. That culprit whom you are going to want to take it out, it has popped up in some another manner. And therefore there are 3 steps involved in this process, in this exercise of Gyan Yoga procedure. 3 steps are called Shravanam, Manan and Nididhyasana. What is Shravanam then? Exposing myself to scriptural teaching handled by competent guide. Will again say? Very long sentence. Exposing myself to scriptural teaching handled by competent guide. Full stop. He will say, Atma is not doer, why it is not doer? Atma is not bhokta, why it is not bhokta? He says, you are not this body. This operation is going on. Because you are the drishta, you are the drishya, you are the drishta, how can the drishta be the drishya? Okay. So I just expose my thinking, expose myself, expose my wrong eye. Expose my wrong eye or myself to the scriptural teaching under a competent teacher. हमने अपने आप को रख दिया. आप you operate on my wrong eye. Take away my wrong understanding about eye. I hope it is clear. And how is it? It is a systematic teaching for a length of time. Not for 2 days, 3 days. It is systematic teaching. Long operation is there. Long operation, yes. Why? Because there is a big problem in eye. Big problem in eye. This is the called. During the Shravan Kal, questions are not allowed. While the teaching is going on, don't ask questions. Why? Just hear. Maybe what question you are going to ask is answered in the next statement. Maybe tomorrow it will be answered. You just hear. After sufficient hearing for many years, Boli, how many years? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 2 births. My God, I won't be living so much life. No, you can't continue next birth. Next birth in reservoir hill. Anyway, that is the matter. So second step is mananam. After exposing myself to teaching, I bring my doubts. I bring my doubts. And with the help of that Shravan, what I heard, I tried to make it clear how this Atma, when this body is so real, Swamiji, It is seen. Atma is not seen. Atma is not seen. This body is seen. Atma, don't you feel it is something abstract? This is my doubt. Supposing doubt comes. No. Why? Because many things are not seen is real. Mind you see. Your mind. No. Black or white? Colored? Pink mind you have. Mind is there or not? Arey, the whole problem is because of the mind. Terrible mind is there. Acha, arey baap re, dimag couldn't sleep last night. Because of the body. No, body was fine. Mind. Mind. In some sleep too much. Wow, because of mind only. Mind is, then that something is there, it should be seen. Remove this from your dictionary. Something can be there which cannot be seen also. I'm just giving example. This is called Mananam. I'm trying to summarize it. When we'll take the text, if God wills, then we'll see. So converts the knowledge of the teacher into personal conviction. Again I'm repeating. Converts the knowledge of the scripture coming from teacher into unshakable personal conviction. And then supposing he should understand, this is called Mananam. 5 minutes more I'll take. अब clear हो गए, बोले हाँ, I am clear, I am drishta, I am not this body, I am not this. But still you are sad sometimes. Well, my habit is like that, you know. Then you need nididhyasanam, meditation, process of internalization of the convinced knowledge. Convinced knowledge, removal of my habitual behavior. Habitual behavior. There's a habit to think I am sad. Like a cigarette is a habit, drinking is a habit. You know, who's drink, whole day they don't feel like drinking. Not that all the time, any drunkard doesn't feel like. When night comes, 8 o'clock comes. 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and everybody is quiet, he is not in satsang, etc. So then automatically at that time, this habit comes out. Bole bhai, get the ice, get the water, get the glass, let me do some Sandhya Vandan. So, this habit of seeing, being sansari I, habitual mistake at the level of I. Please be careful. Like we have physical habit, no? Physical habit is there. Bhai, chai chahiye. India, they have 20 cups of tea sometime per day. Physical habits are there. Kya? Are just now you had 9 o'clock. Are it is 9:30 now. Chai banao jara sa. Half cup. Pura nahi, half dena. Chini, how much sugar? 2 spoons. 2 spoon in half, yes. Why you take so many? No, I always say, shall I stir it? No, put so much sugar that the spoon should stand. समझ नहीं आया. अच्छा, somebody, no sugar. Habit, physical habit is there. Sleeping habit is there. Eating habit is there. Habit of I is there. What? I am sad. I am alone. I have to do this work. Just now you heard you are Brahman. I forgot, sorry. I am Brahman. I am not working. So what we do outside, every behavior is a reflection of your self-image. Wrong self-image will never bring out right behavior. Okay. Miserable self-image will give out miserable behavior only. In Nididhyasan, I put myself in a system deliberately to keep in touch with what I heard. On my mind, I bring that idea repeatedly. I say, chup, हाँ तुम बोलो, chup. Saying quiet to this samsari I and asking the scripture, you say. This is called meditation. Meditation is not concentration. It is repetition of right understanding of I, born from the listening, from the competent teacher for a long time after getting conviction from reflection. Well, a very small statement you did. Don't think it is very mystic thing, very difficult thing. It's not like that. Meditation is a repetition of the right understanding. पहले तो समझ लो. It is not focusing on something like a tube light or focusing on the candle light. All these things are bekar, फालतू की बात. Useless things are. You are repeating the right understanding. Why? Because I am a victim of wrong understanding about I. What do you think? I am husband, wife. What do you think? I am a very bad person. What do you think? I am a very sad. Sadness is true, or you are detached here is true. Sadness. You are sad is more true, or you are Atma and Brahman is more true. Well, let's see. For me this sadness is very heavy, is very strong. Although from scriptures I knew I am Atma. But still it comes that. So that is the process of Nididhyasan. I hope you are clear about that. This is the process. So how do you lead an alert life? What is the meaning of alert life? Alert life means when you respond, you monitor your responses. And by monitoring the responses, you find out my responses are governed by new teaching and not dictated by old habits. Please be careful. I am monitoring my responses to see that they are governed by the new teaching of the scriptures and not old samsari habit. I am trying to find out what is prompting here. I think I am expecting a lot. That means this I still am behaving as a limited I. Again, but the Guru said like that. In other words, Nididhyasan is assimilation process of the heard teaching. What you eat is not important. How much food is digested well, that will make your health. Digested food makes your health, not the eaten food. Got my point? Assimilated knowledge nourishes your personality. So you are internalizing, you are allowing yourself, let it go, let it sink inside. Let it go inside. And this is called, and well, how long? Till you are freed from the disease of samsara, and till you have called the presence of absence of object doesn't disturb you. That means no present object making your I big and small, and no absent object is making emptiness in you. This is called moksha. I hope you are clear. Well, this should be done after Karma Yoga and after Upas. I already told you. Otherwise, you have to go back. Well, supposing I listen, come back, to Vedanta class, and I have not done that. I have straight away dashed here in the Vedanta class. Then what will happen? After hearing to Vedanta, you will feel a block inside. Because there is no entry. There is no runaway there. Plane has come, but runaway is not there. Why? Jungle is there. It can't fly. No. Helicopter can fly. But plane can't fly now. Then what to do? Again go back. Very tedious. Or again do a lot of upasana. Krito pasti and akrito pasti. It is said in Panch. Again you go back. Arey bhai, again I didn't know all these things. No, otherwise I've come back from here. No, then good you knew. Again you go and you have the importance of that. You can't have backdoor entry. You can't be gate crasher. Well, supposing I have, then what shall I do? Hear a lot. Hear a lot, yes. You will develop some qualification and do lot of upasana. With this infrastructure and discipline of Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga and Jnana Yoga, you will be standing, not standing at the portals of moksha. You will know I myself am moksha. You don't get moksha. You know you were never bound. Moksha is not attaining. Moksha is knowing that I was never bound. You don't have to attain the waker by doing any action in the dream. You know that wrongly I thought I am dreaming. That is mukti.